Last Tuesday changed everything forever. My phone fell down the stairs. The screen cracked into a spider web. I picked it up with shaking hands. My daughter Emma looked at me. She started laughing. Really loud laughing. "Mom, that old thing is trash anyway," she said. Her laugh was cold, mean. It cut through my heart like a knife. I stood there holding my broken phone. The same phone I'd used for 5 years. The same phone where I kept pictures of Emma as a baby. Where I saved our text messages saying, "I love you." Emma kept laughing at me. Her friends were watching. They laughed too. I felt so small, so embarrassed, so hurt, but that was just the beginning. Yesterday, Emma found out about the will. She cried like her world had ended, big ugly tears down her pretty face. She screamed at me for hours. "How could you do this to me?" she yelled. But I knew exactly how, and why, and it was time everyone else knew too. Let me tell you who I am. My name is Margaret Walsh. I'm 55 years old. I live in a big white house with blue shutters. The house has 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It has a beautiful garden full of roses. Red roses and pink roses everywhere. I worked for 30 years to afford this house. Every day at the bank downtown. Every single day without fail. I raised Emma by myself after her father died. She was only 3 when cancer took him. I never remarried. I put all my love into Emma. All my time. All my money. Everything I had went to my precious daughter. She was my whole world. My reason for living Emma is 25 now. She's tall and blonde like her father was. She has green eyes that sparkle when she smiles. At least they used to sparkle. She works at a fancy clothing store downtown. She makes good money selling expensive dresses. She drives a red car I bought her. She lives in my house for free. Emma has always been beautiful. Popular in school. Lots of friends and boyfriends. She was the prom queen in high school. The prettiest girl in our whole town. People always said how lucky I was. "Your daughter is perfect," they'd say. I believed them for so long. Too long. But perfect daughters don't laugh at their mothers. Perfect daughters don't call their mothers' things trash. Perfect daughters don't roll their eyes when you talk. Emma did all of these things, every single day. I just didn't want to see it before. The house always smelled like Emma's expensive perfume, sweet and flowery but too strong. It gave me headaches sometimes. Her music was always playing loud upstairs. Pop songs about money and parties. Her heels clicked on the hardwood floors. Click, click, click. Always in a hurry to go somewhere else. Emma had so many friends visiting all the time. Pretty girls with designer purses and perfect makeup. They'd sit in my kitchen drinking my coffee, using my expensive cups, talking about shopping and boys and money. They never said thank you, never cleaned up their messes. Emma never made them either. But I told myself this was normal. Young people are different now. They don't show respect the same way. At least Emma was successful. At least she was happy. That's what mothers want, right? For their children to be happy. My best friend Ruby lives next door. She's lived there for 20 years. Ruby has gray hair and kind brown eyes. She wears flowered dresses and smells like cookies. Ruby sees everything from her front window. She knows all the neighborhood secrets. She's been watching Emma for years. Ruby would come over for coffee every morning. We'd sit at my kitchen table by the window. The sun would shine on the yellow tablecloth. The coffee always tasted better with Ruby there. She'd bring homemade cookies in a tin container. Chocolate chip cookies that melted in your mouth. "Margaret," Ruby would say carefully. "Emma seems different lately." She'd stir her coffee slowly. The spoon made tiny clinking sounds. "Different how?" I'd ask, but deep down I already knew. Ruby would just look at me with worried eyes. She didn't want to hurt my feelings. Ruby had seen Emma throw away my birthday card. The one I'd spent an hour picking out. Emma tossed it in the trash without reading it. Ruby saw through her kitchen window. She told me weeks later. My heart broke a little more that day. Ruby also saw Emma's friends making fun of my old car. My reliable blue Honda that I'd driven for 10 years. They called it ugly and embarrassing. Emma laughed along with them. She never defended me, never told them to stop. Ruby's face was angry when she told me. One morning, Ruby brought something else besides cookies, a newspaper clipping about wills and inheritance. "You should read this," she said quietly. "It's about protecting yourself from ungrateful children." The words hit me like a slap. Ungrateful children. Was that what Emma was? I started paying closer attention after that, really watching Emma's behavior. The way she talked to me, the way she acted around money, the way she treated our home. What I saw made my stomach sick. Emma would leave her expensive clothes all over the bathroom floor, silk blouses and designer jeans in wrinkled piles. She expected me to pick them up. wash them, iron them, put them away, like I was her personal maid. She'd use all the hot water in long showers, 40 minutes sometimes. I'd have to wait for cold water to turn warm again. When I mentioned it, she'd roll her green eyes. The hot water heater is old, Mom. Buy a new one. Like money grew on trees. Emma ate my food without asking. Expensive food I bought for special occasions. She'd finish the last piece of cake, drink the last of the good wine, use up all the fancy cheese, then complain there was nothing good to eat. Never offering to buy groceries herself. Her friends would come over at all hours. Loud voices in the living room at midnight, car doors slamming in the driveway, music thumping through the walls. When I asked them to be quiet, Emma would get angry. "You're embarrassing me, Mom," she'd hiss. But the worst part was how she talked to me. Like I was stupid, like I didn't matter. "Mom, you don't understand modern things," she'd say. "Mom, that's not how people do it anymore." Always making me feel old and worthless. The broken phone incident wasn't the first time Emma laughed at me. She laughed when I couldn't figure out the new TV remote. She laughed when I wore my old coat to the grocery store. She laughed when I mispronounced words I'd read but never heard spoken. Each laugh felt like a tiny knife in my heart, but I kept loving her anyway. Kept hoping she'd change. Kept making excuses for her cruel behavior. "She's just young," I'd tell Ruby. "She'll grow out of it." But Ruby's worried face said she didn't believe that. The day everything changed started normally. I woke up early like always, made coffee in my favorite blue mug. The kitchen was quiet and peaceful. Sunlight streamed through the white curtains. Birds were singing outside the window. It felt like any other Tuesday morning. Emma came downstairs in her silk pajamas, pink ones that cost more than my weekly groceries. Her blonde hair was messy from sleep. She looked beautiful even first thing in the morning. "Good morning, honey," I said with a smile. She grunted and grabbed my coffee mug. Didn't say good morning back. She poured the coffee down the sink. "This tastes terrible, Mom. Don't you know how to make decent coffee?" She made fresh coffee in her expensive machine. The one I'd bought her for Christmas. The one she said wasn't good enough 2 months later. I was carrying laundry upstairs when it happened. My arms were full of clean towels, fluffy white towels that smelled like lavender. My phone was balanced on top. The stairs are steep and narrow in our old house. I'd climbed them thousands of times before, but this time, my foot caught the edge. I stumbled forward, trying not to fall. The towels went flying everywhere. My phone sailed through the air. It hit the wooden stairs hard. Bounce, bounce, bounce. All the way down to the bottom, I heard the crash. That awful sound of glass breaking. My heart sank as I ran down the stairs. There was my phone on the floor. The screen was completely shattered. Spiderweb cracks covered everything. I could barely see the picture underneath. That's when Emma appeared. She looked at me holding my broken phone. She looked at the towels scattered everywhere. Then she started laughing. Not a little giggle. Big, loud laughing that echoed through the house. She said between laughs. "That ancient thing finally died. Thank goodness." She was holding her stomach from laughing so hard. Tears of laughter running down her cheeks. "Now you'll have to get a real phone like normal people." I stood there feeling so small. So embarrassed. My phone wasn't just a phone. It had 5 years of memories inside. Pictures of Emma's graduation. Videos of family dinners. Text messages from her father before he died. All of it might be gone forever. "Emma, this isn't funny," I said quietly. "I had important things on here." She rolled her eyes and laughed harder. "What could you possibly have that's important? Your grocery lists?" More cruel laughter that cut through my soul. Her friends Sarah and Jessica came downstairs then. They'd slept over without asking my permission. They saw the broken phone in my hands. They saw Emma laughing. So they started laughing too. 3 young women pointing and laughing at me. "Mrs. Walsh, that phone is so old," Sarah said. "My grandmother has a newer phone than that." More laughter. More pointing. More shame burning in my cheeks. I felt like a child being bullied at school. "Maybe now you'll buy something from this century," Jessica added. Emma high-fived her friends. They thought this was the funniest thing ever. My pain was entertainment for them. My broken heart was a joke. I picked up the towels with shaking hands. My face was hot with embarrassment. The girls kept laughing and making jokes. Should we call a museum? Do they even make parts for that anymore? Each comment felt like another knife wound. Ruby must have heard the commotion. She appeared at my front door with worried eyes. "Margaret, are you all right?" I heard shouting. Emma and her friends looked annoyed. They hated when Ruby came over. They called her the nosy neighbor behind her back. "Everything's fine, Mrs. Rodriguez," Emma said sweetly. Her voice completely changed. Suddenly she sounded caring and concerned. Like a perfect daughter worried about her mother. Mom just dropped her phone. We're helping her figure out what to do. But Ruby's sharp eyes saw the truth. She saw my red face, my shaking hands, the cruel smiles on the girls' faces. "Would you like me to take you to get it fixed, Margaret?" she asked kindly. Emma's fake smile tightened. "Oh, that old thing can't be fixed," Emma said quickly. "Mom needs to accept that it's time for an upgrade." "Right, Mom?" She looked at me with warning eyes. "Don't embarrass me in front of my friends," those eyes said. I nodded silently. Ruby frowned but didn't push. She could see I was upset but wouldn't talk about it now. "Well, I'm right next door if you need anything," she said. Her voice was gentle, but her eyes were angry. After Ruby left, Emma's sweet act disappeared instantly. "God, I hate when she comes over," Emma muttered. "Doesn't she have her own life?" Her friends laughed and agreed. They didn't understand that Ruby was the only real friend I had. That afternoon, I went to the phone repair shop alone. The young man behind the counter shook his head sadly. "I'm sorry, ma'am. This is too damaged to fix. The whole screen needs replacing. That'll cost more than a new phone." I felt tears starting in my eyes. All those memories, all those pictures, gone forever because of one clumsy moment. "Is there any way to save the photos?" I asked desperately. He plugged it into his computer and waited. And waited. "Actually, you're in luck," he said with a smile. "The memory chip survived. I can transfer everything to a new phone." Relief flooded through me like warm sunshine. My memories were safe. Emma's baby pictures were safe. I bought a simple new phone. Nothing fancy or expensive, just something that worked. The repairman transferred all my photos and messages. Everything was exactly like before, just on a newer screen. When I got home, Emma was getting ready to go out. She wore a black dress that cost $300. I bought it for her birthday last month. Her makeup was perfect. Her hair was styled in loose curls. She looked like a movie star. "Did you finally get a decent phone?" she asked without looking up from her mirror. She was putting on diamond earrings, the ones I'd given her for Christmas. "Yes, I did," I said quietly. "And I saved all my photos too." Emma's reflection paused for just a second. "Oh, that's nice, I guess." She didn't sound happy about it. She sounded almost disappointed, like she'd wanted my memories to be lost forever. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Emma's reaction, her cruel laughter, her disappointment when I saved my photos. What kind of daughter acts that way? What kind of person laughs at their mother's pain? I got up and made tea in the dark kitchen. Chamomile tea in my favorite cup, the one with purple flowers painted on the side. I sat by the window looking out at Ruby's house. Her bedroom light was still on. She was probably reading like she did every night. The tea was warm and soothing. But my heart felt cold and broken. I'd spent 22 years raising Emma alone, sacrificing everything for her happiness, working extra hours to buy her nice things. This is how she repaid me? With laughter and cruelty? I thought about all the times I'd made excuses for her. She's just stressed from work. She's going through a phase. All young people are self-centered. But Ruby had been trying to tell me the truth for months. Emma wasn't going through a phase. This was who she really was. The next morning, Ruby came over earlier than usual. She brought blueberry muffins and a serious expression. "Margaret, we need to talk," she said. Her voice was firm but kind. "About Emma. About what I saw yesterday." We sat at the kitchen table like always, but this time felt different, heavier. Ruby's brown eyes were full of concern. "Honey, that wasn't normal behavior yesterday. The way Emma laughed at you, the way her friends joined in, that was cruel." I stirred my coffee slowly, around and around with the silver spoon. "Maybe I'm just being too sensitive," I said. "Maybe all mothers go through this." But even as I said it, I knew it wasn't true. "No, Margaret," Ruby said firmly. "My daughter has never laughed at me like that. My friends' daughters don't treat them that way. Emma's behavior is not normal. It's not acceptable." Ruby reached across the table and took my hand. Her skin was soft and warm. "You've given that girl everything. Your whole life has been about making her happy. And this is how she treats you?" Tears started falling down my cheeks. "But she's all I have, Ruby. If I lose Emma, I have nothing left. Ruby squeezed my hand tighter. Honey, you don't have Emma now. You have someone who looks like Emma but treats you terribly. That's when Ruby told me something shocking, something that changed everything. Margaret, I need to tell you what I heard last week. Emma was on your back porch with her friends. They were talking about money, about your house. My heart started beating faster. What did they say? Ruby looked uncomfortable. Like she didn't want to hurt me but knew she had to. Emma was talking about inheriting everything when you die. She was laughing about how much money she'll have. The coffee cup slipped from my hands. It crashed on the floor, brown liquid everywhere. Broken pieces of my favorite mug scattered around my feet, just like my heart was scattered and broken. She said she can't wait to sell this house. Ruby continued. She said it's worth a fortune now. She and her friends were planning what they'd do with all the money. Ruby's eyes filled with tears. I'm so sorry, Margaret. I should have told you sooner. I sat there staring at the broken mug. Emma was planning my death, counting my money before I was even gone, laughing about selling the house I'd worked 30 years to buy, the house where she grew up, where her father lived before he died. There's more, Ruby said softly. She said you're getting old and confused, that it won't be long before you need a nursing home. She said that would make everything easier. Each word felt like a physical blow to my chest. I cleaned up the broken mug with shaking hands. Sharp pieces cut my fingers. Little drops of blood mixed with the spilled coffee, but the pain in my hands was nothing compared to the pain in my heart. What should I do, Ruby? I asked. How do I handle this? Ruby was quiet for a long time, thinking carefully before she spoke. You need to protect yourself, Margaret. You need to think about your future. I made a phone call to Mr. Thompson, the lawyer downtown, the one who'd handled my husband's will years ago. I need to make some changes to my will, I told him. Important changes that need to happen right away. Mr. Thompson was a kind old man with white hair and glasses. He'd known our family for 15 years. Of course, Mrs. Walsh. When would you like to come in? His voice was gentle and professional. Tomorrow morning, I said. First thing, this can't wait any longer. I made the appointment for 9 o'clock, early enough that Emma would still be sleeping. She never got up before 10 on her days off. That evening, Emma came home with shopping bags. Expensive bags from boutique stores downtown. Look what I bought, she said excitedly. She pulled out a purse that cost more than some people make in a week. Isn't it gorgeous? It's very nice, I said. How did you afford it? Emma's smile faltered for just a second. I've been saving, she said quickly. But I knew she hadn't been saving. She spent every penny she made on clothes and parties. Plus, I deserve nice things, Emma continued. I work hard at the store. I deal with difficult customers all day. She put the purse on the kitchen counter like it was a work of art. Besides, someday I'll inherit all this anyway. The words hung in the air like poison gas. She'd said it so casually, so carelessly, like my death was just a minor inconvenience before she got rich. My own daughter was counting down the days until I died. Emma, I said quietly, what makes you think you'll inherit everything? She laughed that cruel laugh again. Because I'm your only child, Mom. Obviously. Who else would you leave it to? The cat? We didn't have a cat. It was a joke. A mean joke about how I had no one else in my life. No other family. No other children. Just ungrateful Emma who couldn't wait for me to die. That night, I barely slept again. I kept thinking about the appointment with Mr. Thompson. About the changes I was going to make. About Emma's reaction when she found out. Part of me felt guilty. But mostly I felt determined. The next morning I dressed carefully. My best blue dress and matching jacket. The outfit I wore to important occasions. Pearl earrings my husband had given me. I wanted to look dignified and serious. This was the most important day of my life. Emma was still sleeping when I left. Her bedroom door was closed. Soft snoring sounds came from inside. She'd been out late again last night, partying with friends, living it up on money she hadn't earned yet. Mr. Thompson's office smelled like old books and furniture polish. Heavy wooden desks and leather chairs everywhere, serious paintings of judges on the walls. It felt like a place where important decisions were made. What changes would you like to make, Mrs. Walsh? Mr. Thompson asked. He had a yellow legal pad ready. His pen was expensive looking, silver with his initials engraved on the side. I want to remove my daughter Emma from my will completely, I said. The words felt strange coming out of my mouth, but also liberating, like a weight lifting off my shoulders. Mr. Thompson's eyebrows went up in surprise. That's a significant change, Mrs. Walsh. May I ask why? He wasn't judging me, just making sure I understood what I was doing. I told him everything. Emma's cruel behavior, her laughing at my broken phone, her conversations about inheriting my money, her complete lack of respect or gratitude. Mr. Thompson listened without interrupting. I see, he said when I finished. And who would you like to inherit instead? I'd been thinking about this all night. The answer was clear. Ruby Rodriguez, my neighbor. She's been more like a daughter to me than my real daughter. Mr. Thompson wrote everything down carefully. I'll also need alternate beneficiaries, he said, in case something happens to Mrs. Rodriguez. I chose several charities, organizations that helped single mothers, places that would use my money for good instead of selfish purposes. This will take a few days to prepare, Mr. Thompson said. I'll call you when it's ready to sign. He shook my hand firmly. His grip was warm and reassuring. You're doing the right thing, Mrs. Walsh. No one should have to tolerate cruel treatment from family. I drove home feeling lighter than I had in months. The sun seemed brighter. The flowers in my garden looked more colorful. I'd taken control of my life. I'd stopped being a victim of Emma's cruelty. Emma was awake when I got home. She was making coffee in her expensive machine. Still in her silk pajamas, her hair was messy and her makeup was smeared. She looked hungover from her night out. Where did you go so early? She asked without looking at me. She was focused on her phone, scrolling through social media, probably looking at pictures from last night's party. I had an appointment, I said simply. With Mr. Thompson. Emma's head snapped up from her phone. Her green eyes were suddenly alert and focused. The lawyer, why? Just updating some legal documents, I said casually. Nothing for you to worry about. Emma stared at me suspiciously, like she knew something important had happened but couldn't figure out what. What kind of documents? She pressed. Her voice was sharper now, more demanding. Is it about Dad's old insurance policy? I thought we settled all that years ago. No, just routine legal maintenance, I said. I poured myself coffee from my old coffee maker. The regular kind that Emma hated. It tasted perfect to me. Emma watched me with narrowed eyes. You're being weird, Mom. What aren't you telling me? She was using her manipulative voice, sweet but with an edge of threat underneath. I'm not being weird, I said calmly. I'm just handling my affairs responsibly. Something I should have done years ago. I sat at the table and opened the newspaper, acting like nothing unusual had happened. But Emma wasn't satisfied. She kept asking questions, trying to figure out what I'd done at the lawyer's office. I could see her mind working, calculating, worried that something had changed in her favor. For the next 3 days, Emma was unusually nice to me. She made me breakfast one morning, scrambled eggs and toast. The eggs were overcooked and the toast was burned, but she tried. She even cleaned up afterward. She complimented my clothes. That dress looks really nice on you, Mom. She asked about my day. How was work today? Did anything interesting happen? She even offered to help with groceries. Let me carry those heavy bags for you. But it all felt fake. Like she was acting in a play. Her smiles didn't reach her eyes. Her voice sounded forced and unnatural. She was being nice because she sensed something had changed, not because she actually cared about me. Ruby noticed Emma's sudden personality change too. What's gotten into Emma lately? She asked during our morning coffee. She actually said hello to me yesterday. She hasn't done that in years. I think she suspects something, I said. But she doesn't know what. Ruby smiled knowingly. Good. Let her worry for a while. Maybe it'll teach her some humility. On Friday afternoon, Mr. Thompson called. Your new will is ready, Mrs. Walsh. Would you like to come in Monday morning to sign it? His voice was professional but warm. Yes, I said. Same time as before. That weekend, Emma was extra attentive. She stayed home instead of going out with friends. She watched old movies with me on Saturday night. She even made popcorn in a big bowl, just like we used to do when she was little. But I could see the calculation in her eyes. She was being nice for a reason. Not because she loved me, because she was scared she'd done something wrong. This wasn't real affection. It was manipulation. Sunday morning, Emma suggested we go to church together. We hadn't been to church as a family in 5 years, not since she decided religion was boring and outdated. But suddenly she wanted to go. We sat in the wooden pew where my husband and I used to sit. where we'd brought Emma as a baby for baptism. The church smelled like old wood and candle wax. Sunlight streamed through the stained glass windows. Blues and reds and yellows dancing on the walls. Emma held my hand during the prayers. Her palm was soft and warm. For a moment, I remembered the little girl she used to be. Sweet and loving and innocent, before money and materialism corrupted her heart. But then I remembered her cruel laughter. Her plans to sell my house, her excitement about my death. This sudden kindness was just another manipulation, another way to control me. Monday morning came gray and rainy. Perfect weather for what I had to do. I dressed in my best black suit, the one I wore to my husband's funeral. It felt appropriate somehow. Today was the death of my relationship with Emma. The signing took 15 minutes. My signature on 3 different pages. Mr. Thompson's secretary witnessed everything. Stamped and sealed and official. Emma Walsh was no longer my heir. She would inherit nothing when I died. How do you feel? Mr. Thompson asked afterward. Relieved, I said honestly. For the first time in years, I feel free. He smiled and shook my hand. The papers will be filed today. Everything is legally binding. I drove home through the rain, windshield wipers swishing back and forth. The rhythm was soothing, like a heartbeat, or like the sound of a new beginning. Emma was waiting in the living room when I got home. She jumped up from the couch when I walked in. Mom, where were you? I was worried. Her voice was high and anxious, full of fake concern. I had another appointment, I said, with Mr. Thompson again. Emma's face went pale. Her green eyes widened with fear. Another appointment? What for this time? To finalize some legal matters, I said. I hung up my wet coat in the closet. Took my time arranging it on the hanger. Let Emma's anxieties. Emma demanded. Her sweet voice was cracking. The mask was starting to slip. Mom, you're scaring me. What did you do? I turned to face her. My daughter. My only child. The person I'd loved more than life itself. I updated my will, Emma. Made some important changes. Emma's relief was visible. Her shoulders relaxed. Her breathing slowed down. Oh, is that all? What kind of changes? Did you add more charities or something? Actually, I said calmly, I removed someone from the will. Someone who doesn't deserve to inherit anything. Emma laughed nervously. Who would you remove? You don't have any other family. I removed you, Emma. The words hung in the air like a bomb about to explode. Emma stared at me like I'd spoken in a foreign language. What did you say? She whispered. I said I removed you from my will, completely. You won't inherit anything when I die. My voice was steady and calm. Years of hurt and anger had crystallized into cold determination. Emma's face went through several emotions at once. Confusion, disbelief, panic, then rage. Pure, undiluted rage. You can't do that, she screamed. I'm your daughter. Yes, you are, I said. And you've made it very clear that you can't wait for me to die so you can have my money. Well, now you don't have to wait. You can leave anytime you want. Emma started crying then, big ugly sobs that shook her whole body. Mom, please. I didn't mean those things. I was just joking around with my friends. Tears and mascara ran down her cheeks in black streams. Joking? I said. You joked about me being old and confused. You joked about putting me in a nursing home. You joked about selling the house where your father lived. My voice got louder with each question. I'm sorry, Emma wailed. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. She fell to her knees on the carpet, clutching at my skirt like a child. Please don't do this to me, please. But her tears didn't move me anymore. I'd seen this act before. The crocodile tears when she wanted something. The fake apologies when she got caught. It's too late, Emma. The papers are signed and filed. Who? Emma gasped between sobs. Who gets everything instead of me? Her face was red and blotchy, snot running from her nose. All her beauty was gone. Only ugliness remained. Ruby, I said. Ruby Rodriguez gets the house and everything in it. She's been more of a daughter to me than you ever were. Emma's crying stopped abruptly. Her face twisted with hatred. That old witch next door? Emma snarled. You're giving my inheritance to some random neighbor? She stood up fast. Her hands were clenched into fists. She probably put you up to this. Ruby didn't put me up to anything, I said. She just opened my eyes to who you really are. A selfish, cruel, ungrateful person who laughs at her mother's pain. Emma's mask was completely gone now. No more fake sweetness. No more manipulation. Just raw, ugly anger. You're going to regret this, she screamed. I'll contest the will. I'll get lawyers. Contest it all you want, I said. Mr. Thompson made sure it's airtight. You have no legal claim to anything. Not anymore. Emma stared at me with pure hatred, like she wanted to hurt me physically. You're a bitter old woman, she yelled. No wonder Dad died young. He probably couldn't stand living with you. The words hit me like physical blows, but I didn't flinch. Your father loved me, I said quietly. Something you never learned how to do. You only love money and things. You never loved me as a person. Emma grabbed her expensive purse from the counter, the one she'd bought with money she couldn't afford. Fine, I don't need you or your stupid house. I'll make my own money. Good luck with that, I said. You've never paid for anything yourself. You don't even know how much groceries cost, or how to pay bills, or how to live without someone taking care of you. Emma stormed toward the door, her high heels clicking angrily on the hardwood floor. I hate you, she screamed. I hope you die alone and miserable. The front door slammed so hard the windows shook. I stood in the sudden silence. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking, but I felt free. For the first time in years, I felt completely free. Ruby appeared at my door within minutes. She must have heard Emma screaming. Margaret, are you all right? She looked worried and protective, like a mother hen protecting her chick. I'm fine, I said, and I meant it. I told Emma about the will. She didn't take it well. Ruby looked around the house, at the overturned chair Emma had knocked over, at the family pictures she'd swept off the table in her rage. Good for you, Ruby said firmly. It was time someone stood up to that girl. She started picking up the scattered photos, handling them gently, treating my memories with respect. We cleaned up Emma's mess together, put the furniture back in place, swept up the broken glass from a picture frame. The house felt calmer without her presence. Peaceful again. That evening, Ruby made dinner for both of us. Chicken casserole with vegetables from her garden. We ate by candlelight at my kitchen table. The food tasted better than anything Emma had ever cooked. Do you think she'll come back? Ruby asked. When she calms down? I thought about it carefully. Maybe, I said, but it won't matter. The will is final. She can't change it with tears or tantrums. What if she really contests it in court? Ruby looked worried. I don't want to cause problems between you and your daughter. I reached across the table and took her weathered hand. You didn't cause anything, I said. Emma caused this with her own behavior. You just helped me see the truth. Ruby squeezed my hand gently. I'm honored that you trust me with such responsibility. The next few days were wonderfully quiet. No loud music upstairs, no friends coming and going at all hours, no cruel laughter echoing through the house, just peace and stillness. I rearranged Emma's room, packed up her expensive clothes and shoes, put them in boxes in the garage. If she wanted them, she could come get them, but she wouldn't live here anymore. I turned her room into a craft room, bought a sewing machine and fabric, set up a table by the window where the light was good. For the first time in years, I had space for my own hobbies. Emma called once that week. Her voice was different, smaller, more desperate. Mom, can we talk? I made a mistake. I want to apologize properly. But I could hear the calculation in her voice, the planning. There's nothing to talk about, Emma, I said. You showed me who you really are. I believe you. She started crying on the phone. Please, Mom, I'll change. I promise I'll be better. You had 25 years to be better, I said. You chose to be cruel instead. Now you have to live with the consequences. I hung up before she could say more. Ruby and I started taking trips together. Day trips to museums and gardens. We visited places I'd always wanted to see but never had time for. We laughed and talked and enjoyed each other's company. This is what friendship should be, Ruby said during one of our trips. We were walking through a rose garden. The flowers smelled like heaven. Red and pink and yellow blooms everywhere. Mutual respect and kindness. I forgot what that felt like, I admitted. Emma trained me to expect cruelty, to accept disrespect as normal. Ruby linked her arm through mine. Well, now you remember, and you deserve better. 2 weeks after Emma left, she showed up at my door again. This time she looked different. Her expensive clothes were wrinkled. Her perfect makeup was gone. She looked tired and desperate. Mom, please, she said. I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. I know I was awful to you. I want to make it right. Her green eyes were red from crying. She looked genuinely remorseful. For a moment, my heart softened. This was my daughter, My little girl who used to need me for everything. Emma, I started to say. Then I remembered her cruel laughter. Her excitement about my death. I'm sorry too, Emma, I said. Sorry that you became someone I don't recognize. Someone who could laugh at their mother's pain. Emma's face crumpled. I can change. Give me another chance. You had thousands of chances, I said. Every day for years you chose to be cruel. Why should I believe you'll change now? Emma wiped her nose with her sleeve. Her designer sleeve. Because I love you, she cried. I know I didn't show it right, but I do love you. I looked at her carefully, searching for any sign of genuine emotion. All I saw was desperation and fear. You love my money? I said sadly. You love what I can give you. But you don't love me as a person. You never have. Emma started crying harder. That's not true! When's my birthday, Emma? I asked suddenly. She stopped crying, looked confused by the question. What? She said. Your birthday? It's in the summer, right? It's September 15th, I said. 3 weeks ago. You forgot completely. Didn't even call. Emma's face went white. She had forgotten. Completely forgotten her own mother's middle name. I continued. Emma opened and closed her mouth like a fish. She had no idea. It's Rose, I said. After your grandmother. The grandmother you never wanted to visit in the nursing home. Emma stood there with tears streaming down her face, caught in her own ignorance about my life. She knew nothing about me except what I could give her. When did your father and I get married? I asked. What was his favorite food? What song did we dance to at our wedding? Emma couldn't answer any of it. 25 years of not caring, not listening, not loving, you see, I said gently. You don't know me at all. You know what car I drive because you want a newer one. You know what house I own because you want to inherit it. But you don't know me. Emma sank down on the porch steps, her shoulders shaking with sobs. I'm a terrible daughter, she whispered. I'm a terrible person. For the first time, she seemed to understand what she'd done. You can still change, I said. Not for me. Not to get back in the will. For yourself. Learn to be kind. Learn to care about other people. Learn to be grateful for what you have. Is it too late? Emma asked. Too late for us? I looked at her sitting on my porch. My daughter who had become a stranger. I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe. Probably. Emma nodded slowly. I understand, she said. I ruined everything. I threw away the most important relationship in my life for money I didn't even need. She stood up slowly. I'm sorry, Mom, for all of it. She walked away down the sidewalk. Not angry this time, just sad and defeated. I watched until she disappeared around the corner. Part of me wanted to call her back, but I didn't. Ruby came over an hour later with chocolate cake. She'd seen Emma leaving. How do you feel? She asked. Sad, I said, but still sure I did the right thing. Change is possible, Ruby said. People can learn and grow, but it has to be real change, not just acting to get what they want. She cut 2 pieces of cake. The chocolate was rich and sweet. Maybe someday Emma will figure out how to be genuinely kind, I said, but it can't be my job to teach her anymore. I'm too old and too tired. Ruby nodded understandingly. 6 months have passed since that day. Emma has called a few times, short conversations where she updates me on her life. She got a second job. She's living in a small apartment with 2 roommates. She's learning to budget and pay bills. She hasn't asked about the will, hasn't begged or manipulated or thrown tantrums. She's just trying to live her own life. Maybe she's finally growing up. Maybe losing everything was what she needed. Ruby and I have become even closer. We take care of each other like family should. She brings me soup when I'm sick. I drive her to doctor appointments. We share holidays and birthdays and ordinary Tuesday afternoons. The house feels like home again. Peaceful and welcoming, I've redecorated Emma's old room 3 times. First a craft room, then a library, now a guest room for when Ruby's grandchildren visit. I sleep better at night. No more lying awake worrying about Emma's cruelty. No more making excuses for inexcusable behavior. No more walking on eggshells in my own home. Sometimes I wonder if I was too harsh, if I should have given Emma more chances. But then I remember her laughter when my phone broke, her excitement about my death, her complete disregard for my feelings. No parent should have to endure that from their child. No one should accept cruelty in the name of family love. I did the right thing. I protected myself. I chose kindness over cruelty. Ruby will inherit everything when I die. She'll use this house to help other people. She'll donate money to charities. She'll make sure my life's work continues to do good in the world. Emma could have had all of this. The house, the money, the respect. All she had to do was treat me with basic human kindness. She chose cruelty instead. Now she lives with the consequences. My story isn't finished yet. I'm healthy and happy and have many years left. But when my time comes, I'll die knowing I made the right choice. I stood up for myself. I chose love over manipulation. That's my story. The broken phone and the missing name. The daughter who laughed at my pain and cried when she lost her inheritance. The choice between enabling cruelty and demanding respect. What would you do in my place? Would you have changed the will? Would you have given Emma more chances? Would you have chosen family loyalty over self-respect? I don't regret my decision. Emma had countless opportunities to show love and kindness. She chose mockery and greed instead. Actions have consequences, even for daughters, even for family. Thank you for listening to my story, for understanding that sometimes love means saying no, that sometimes protecting yourself is the most loving thing you can do. If you've dealt with family cruelty, know that you're not alone. You don't have to accept mistreatment just because someone shares your DNA. You deserve respect and kindness from everyone in your life. Please share this story if it helped you. Comment if you've been through something similar. We're all just trying to figure out how to love without losing ourselves. With love and respect, until next time.